I would like to start my presentation by introducing Mount Arayat Protected Landscape. Mount Arayat Protected Landscape is actually a solitary mountain in the plains of Central Luzon. So it is bounded by two municipalities, the municipality of Magalang and municipality of Arayat in Pampanga. So there are actually 11 barangays that is surrounded in the Mount Arayat Protected Landscape. The height of the mountain is actually 1,033 meters above sea level. So basically, if you are familiar with Mount Pulag, it is actually 3 times smaller than Mount Arayat. So Mount Arayat protected landscape is actually among the first national parks. So it is first established as a forest reserve in 1921 and a national park in 1933 and became a protected landscape by the virtue of our A Republic Act 11684 signed by the former President Rodrigo Duterte in 2022. So Mount Rai Protected Landscape is actually rich in biodiversity. So it is also home to two endemic species. So we have actually Arayat pitogo or Cycas reuminana. So this is endemic to Luzon. And the recently discovered new species of Pyrostria eretensis. So it was discovered in 2020 by a fellow in Angeles University Foundation and University of Santo Tomas. Of course, this mountain is not exempted to any conservation challenges. So basically, deforestation is rampant in the area. Kaingin is rampant in the area. And actually, just recently, on April 17, 2024, there is actually a huge grass fire happened in the area. So actually, I took a photo of that mountain, of the grass fire. That grass fire is actually already the third for the month of April. So aside from the, of course, we experienced the rising heat index. So there are also a record of kaingin. Now, this actually prompted the provincial government of Pampanga to create a task force. They called it as Mount Sinukuan Task Force to investigate the situation that happened in April 17, 2024. So based on this event, the grass fire actually took 13 hours. It started actually around 4 p.m. in the afternoon. Then, according to investigation, there's at least 14 hectares affected by the grass fire and 1,500 NGP or trees planted through the National Greening Program. So, we can see here that conservation and management is really necessary for Mount Arayat Protected Landscape. So next slide, please. So let me present to you our study entitled Promoting Sustainability Through Community Engagement, Local Knowledge, Attitudes, and Practices on Conservation and Tourism in Mount Arayat Protected Landscape. So this is actually part of a DOST card project entitled Conservation and Management of Mount Arayat Protected Landscape through enhanced community participation. So this project actually started last year. And this presentation or this study is actually a part of a component activity of this project. So basically, the research goal of our project is actually to integrate conservation and tourism. At the same time, we would like to promote sustainability through community participation. So for this study, our objective is to assess the local knowledge, attitude, and practices. So basically, this is anchored on the sustainable development goal, particularly in climate action and in life on land. Now, for the methodology, of course, we did sampling since there are 12 barangays surrounding the Mount Arayat Protected Landscape. So we utilized Cochrane formula in doing the sampling, in computing the sampling size, and we actually identify three criteria in selecting the participants. Then we developed the questionnaire. Then we did validation of the questionnaire. Then we did data collection, of course, through face-to-face interviews with the household. And lastly, we did data analysis through descriptive statistics. Now, for the participants, there are actually a total of 2,000 participants. So 1,185 coming from the municipality of Magalang and 1,408 coming from the municipality of Arayat. So as you can see in the image, those points are actually the areas in which the barangays are located. Now, for the results and discussion, so this slide presents the demographic profile of the two municipalities. So basically for Magalang, most of the respondents has 31 to 40 years old, while in Arayat, 41 to 50 years. Then in terms of the gender distribution, 46.24% male in Magalang and 53.76% female, and 61.5% male and 68.5% female. So both municipalities have 46 household size, has a household size of 46 members. In terms of the residency, years of residency in the area, so for Arayat, it ranges from 21 to 30 years, and for similar to Magalang, 21 to 30 years of residency. Now, most of the respondents coming from Magalang are high school graduates and elementary graduates. Meanwhile, in Arayat, most are rich, actually, high school graduates, but not all graduated from their high school. Now, farming is still the primary source of income, and they classified, both municipalities, our respondents classified themselves as poor. This is based on the NEDA income classification. Now, just like to breeze through with the knowledge, attitude, and practices. So next slide, please. So in terms of knowledge, they have higher awareness, both municipalities, both respondents from the two municipalities, wherein they have a high recognition of Arayat as a protected area, and they're actually familiar with the penalties or violations. However, there's a need for improvement in terms of their participation in any kind of conservation activities. Next slide. In terms of attitude, they actually have favorable response or agreement in terms of the importance of biodiversity. They're actually favorable. They favor actually, or they can provide support for conservation rules. At the same time, they have favorable attitude towards conservation and sustainable tourism. Okay, in terms of practices, they support and follow conservation rules. They also avoid harmful activities, and they practice waste disposal, proper waste disposal. However, in terms of active participation in their conservation activities, it is lacking for both areas. Now, this slide actually presents us the positive aspects, at the same time the areas for improvement for both municipalities. I'd just like to go to the next slide. Okay, so this will summarize actually the data. So based on our analysis, these are the gaps identified. So there's a limited awareness on the economic benefits from ecotourism. There's an inadequate information and resources for responsible tourism. At the same time, there's a low active participation. So coming from this, identify these gaps, we can address them by empowering the communities through various activities, and hopefully it will actually yield to sustainable management or sustainable conservation and management in the area. So we're actually doing an activity. So from this data, we're actually doing a community service activity in the municipality. We're roaming around in the area to educate actually the locals. At the same time, we also reached the high schools surrounding the area, because we would also want to empower the youth, because we believe that it's better to start early, educating them early, and hopefully by the next IFSS, we can present actually the outcome of our community service activity. And thank you for listening.